a little montage here, right? And the reason I did this, only going to take a couple of moments, right? I'm like, man, this is deep what's going on. We look at Jussie Smollett, there's a connection there. We look at R. Kelly, there's a connection there. Before we have R. Kelly, we have Jussie Smollett. Before that, we had Bill Cosby, right? We have the guy Terry Crews, who's talking about Weinstein. I mean, talking about the what you would call abuse in Hollywood and all that, as well as child pedophilia in Hollywood. A lot of that was coming out within the last year or two, right? And I'm like, you know what? How does this tie together? Well, the Bible tells us about in Thessalonians that the end shall not come until that son of perdition be revealed. And I thought, right? We need to stop looking at what's in front of us and let's focus on this son of perdition who controls it all. See, that's how you unravel things. They think the masses are so dumbed down or so unattentive, and to some degree, a lot of people are, to the degree in which we'll just run with anything they put in front of us without understanding the agendas behind what they place in front of us. So I said, you know what? Son of perdition, be revealed. He must be revealed. So he stay in hiding, right? The one that's after the workings of Satan. Now, Christians made us believe that it's some antichrist, some one man that's going to get over all governments and be so tough that all people are going to just listen to this God man on earth as the antichrist. See, we broke it down in the academy. That's not so. That's the Jesuit distraction to hide people from the imperialist Rome colonizing the earth, the Edomites, right? But let's scale it down, even greater. Out of Esau is Amalek, like we've mentioned in the academy, right? That son of perdition, the Bible told us in Deuteronomy 32, the children of Israel, our forefathers, told us that because of our disobedience to him, our God, that he would put a foolish nation over us. So we know at the end times, in our captivity, fools will be ruling us. So we know that it's Rome, and we know they're full of foolishness, right? Now, I'm going to show you how this comes together. A couple of weeks ago, last Sabbath, I did a lesson, and I talked about a stupor would take the inhabitants of the earth, written of in the book of, Baruch, right? Elder Lawya, where it says a stupor shall take the earth. Second Baruch. And that stupor, I put up a picture of Donald Trump, and I want no one to believe that I'm just speaking of him in particular. He's just the one being used right now. The stupor are who? The sons of perdition. Amalek, those that are controlling the earth. And Christ wrote or told John of the Isle of Patmos, I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and lie, but are the synagogue of Satan. Fear none of those things that thou shalt suffer, that they shall do what? Throw you into prison. The devil will do what in the end day? Create an industrial prison complex. Right? Joel, the 3rd chapter, told us that he's going to have all of them in the valley of Jehoshaphat or the Middle East, like I've went over last week, because they sold a boy for a harlot and a girl for wine. A boy for harlot is what? Sex trafficking, turning young boys into homosexuals, pedophilia. So instead of us looking at one person here, right? We need to be looking at what? A system controlled by a people who are diverting all of us. How do I turn this back full circle when I say I had to first narrow it down to Amalek that's behind all these stories? Bringing R. Kelly to the forefront, Jesse Smollett to the forefront, right? And I'm like, this is just this is too convoluted at one time. There must be something here. There must be Amalek, or quote unquote, a Jew being protected, right? Look what we have here. January. Now, none of you seen this story at all because mainstream isn't covering it. January 7th, Rolling Stone magazine. Last time I checked, we don't buy Rolling Stone in the hood, right? Judge reprimands Harvey Weinstein legal team, refuses to grant delay request. Now, this just happened Friday, folks.
March 7th.
This just happened Friday. Why are you looking at R. Kelly? Right? Now, check this out. He's looking to kick the can down the road, hoping that what? All the smoke is had by R. Kelly. R. Kelly is going to receive all the smoke. Jussie Smollett receive all the smoke. Are you seeing that? And while we're looking at this, oh man, R. Kelly, man, you seen the documentary? Who do you think is behind the documentaries? Now, come on, I need you to work with me. Take your time and put your thinking caps on. Those who are easily deluded and distracted or diverted. Before Bill Cosby's case, and before all those things came up about the women out of nowhere from decades ago concerning him drugging them in the 70s, who was on the news circulations, folks, before Bill Cosby?
Epstein.
Epstein. A Jew. Under what? Child pedophilia. Who have a whole island out there where he's taking children to rape, and no one is talking about Epstein. So we got Epstein and we have Harvey Weinstein off of the minds of everyone while our people are being ostracized by those who control the media. But don't stop there, folks. In order for them to divert us, they had to do what? They had to utilize the people they are handling amongst us. Don't believe Oprah Winfrey is rich and have all these things and she's powerful. No, she's just a proxy. She's just a proxy, for mass mind control. She's nothing to them. Now, why would I say that? Check this out. Seal. You know Oprah don't like black men. Seal says what? Quote unquote, Variety magazine. Seal accuses Oprah of knowing about Harvey Weinstein's sexual conduct. Misconduct. His sexual misconduct, and say Oprah knew about it. How do we know Oprah knew about it? Oh, you thought that girls' school in Africa was to empower underprivileged young girls? Well, guess what? No, it wasn't. It was for the child the child trafficking in Africa, folks. The story was swept right under the rug when information was coming out that those girls were being molested in Oprah's camp in Africa. Huh? But you soon forget. Let's tie this all together, if we may. Let's tie this together. is Oprah kissing here at the Choice Awards, folks? Who is Oprah kissing at the Choice Awards? Right? So guess what? This guy, he's raping everything moving. And no one's talking about it because he's her handler. They're not just over studios and movies, folks. Who do you think gave Oprah her stage and prop to delude the world and to separate families? Okay? That's what she's about. She only has power over confused black people. Okay? Let's make it clear. She's a proxy. Look at who's kissing Weinstein. And I need someone. Where is the surviving Weinstein documentary, Oprah? But you want to focus on Michael Jackson, Neverland, a quote unquote dead man that's not here to defend himself, Oprah? So you have full board, full reign to go against anyone black, but never use your platform to accuse and to publicly convict the real rapists and pedophiles who you're helping get away through your stage of distraction. Check this out. Oh, yes. Not only is she with Weinstein, folks, she's with Lee Daniels. He handles all of them. You see this? Two destructive forces in our community. Lee Daniels and Oprah Winfrey. Right? Oh, it doesn't stop there. Right? I said I had a molestation montage, right? Oh, R. Kelly. R. Kelly, are you saying, R. Kelly, that you've done nothing wrong to these girls? Are you saying that you've been right the whole time? This is Gail. Hell. That's what I'm going to call her. Gail. Hell. Okay? Right? Check this out. She got famous ostracizing a brother who's been robbed blind by the Jewish powers, the Zionist powers. Gail, why didn't you interview Weinstein? Gail, hell. Here's your connection between Oprah. What's her last name here? I call her Gail Hell. Somebody out there help me with this woman's name, because I don't pay no attention to these crooks. Yeah. Gail King, who I call Gail Hell. Right? Look at this. Where was her interview of Weinstein? Oh, I'm not done. Check this out, folks. Oprah Winfrey with an intense interview against Michael Jackson. Now, mind you, she didn't ask any objective questions, right? Two of these guys said after it all happened that it was a lie, that it was their parents trying to extort Michael Jackson. Now they're coming back to try to get money out of the estate because they have financial issues, which are documented, but yet this so-called journalist isn't asking objective questions. Right? There's more. Look at this. Is that a clear contrast between her picture with Weinstein, the rapist and pedophile? Is this a clear contrast that she can do whatever she wants to her own brother, but have to kiss up to her handlers? Look at this. How do we allow this? What has come of us as a people? Well, we allow these women, these evildoers right here, to ostracize us. And I'm not and I don't want no one to take that we're defending R. Kelly. This ain't no defense. We're talking about what is the truth. Look at this. She's sitting back, smirking, and her handlers send her out here to do what other women couldn't do in interviewing R. Kelly. You think this was R. Kelly's first interview? But the other women couldn't do this to him.
Let me just get some facts, because you mentioned, I want to say this for the record, Elder correctly mentioned about the Jewish control of these puppets.
Exactly.
I want to put some facts to back that up. Gail, or Hale, works for CBS.
Gail Hell.
CBS.
Gail Burn in Hell.
CBS
King.
Corporation is owned by National Amusements.
National Amusements.
National Amusements is owned by Summer Redstone.
Come on.
Which is their code names. They like to switch their names. When you look at Summer Redstone, parents, Belly Ostrovsky, sounds Russian, Jewish, and Michael Rothstein, Jewish. Here he is. There can be no, oh, you just, everyone's Jewish then controls everything. No, this is facts.
Look at this. And see, and that's why humbly today, I put on I'm from Philadelphia. I put on my Bill Cosby sweater today. Okay. I'm not, you know what? You know who's taking the pill? Those who believe the stories. You want to talk about being drugged and calling Bill Cosby and Pill Cosby and all that. You have taken the pill. Okay? The pill of delusion that's given to you by the synagogue of Satan, a stupor of the earth. Okay? I look at this and I'm like, you know what? The biggest story that should be promoted right now is Weinstein's story.
Mm-hmm. And something we was talking about.
So when did we become the face of pedophilia, folks?
Mm-hmm. Right. And
how can you allow this?
Mm-hmm.
And this is no defense of R. Kelly.
Right.
That whole sector of our society is wicked. Speaking of Hollywood and entertainment.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You talking about? Let me tell you, pedophilia is the least of the issues going on there. They're snuffing kids. They're killing kids. They're drinking their blood. And I'm trying to figure out what's wrong with our people. Are we that deluded and can't see? Are we that confused to the degree in which they can push anything and to have us go against each other? While the real rapists and pedophiles and killers and Satanists scurry out of the back door. Do you know last week Kevin Spacey was on trial? Last week Kevin Spacey was on trial. Did you hear about that, folks? What's wrong with our people? Can't you see anytime they need a back door, we give it to them? And this guy is going to do what? He's going to kick it down the road while this smoke is still happening. They're creating all these stories while these Satanists and pedophiles are raping and getting away.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of pedophiles who got away,
yeah,
this is something we were speaking about before, a few days ago.
Yes.
This sister, Gail, in some of her questions, she really emphasized the age of R. Kelly as what, 52?
Yeah.
Right? At the age of 52 is it right, R. Kelly, that you're with a girl who's 20 or 21 years of age? Now, we're not saying agreeing with the age disparity, right? But the key point here was her emphasis, and it's not her emphasis as we were trying to point out, that she has an earpiece. Her hair is covering it up. But she has an earpiece in her ear, and her handlers, her controllers, the people who own, which are Jewish, who own these media outlets, are telling her the questions to ask, right? So they're asking and posing questions to R. Kelly about the age. Now, here's the thing about pedophiles who got away. What's his name? In the Playboy Mansion?
Hugh Hefner.
Hugh Hefner died at the age of 88, I believe. Right? And he was doing this throughout his whole life. Okay? From the age of 52 to 88 is about 35 years. So for 35 years, Gail could have posed this question to Hugh Hefner about the age disparity, but chose not to. The reason she chose not to is because her handlers told her not to.
Okay, hold up. Hugh Hefner, 88, was married to a 20-year-old girl. How long were they courting? You know how many people came up missing? I'm talking about young girls dead and all that. Let me tell you, Playboy and these other porn magazines and these things, these so-called houses they had for all that, Hollywood and all that.
Jewish owned too.
Jewish owned. They were covers for child sex rings, folks. And that's what R. Kelly was talking about. He said, there's real people chained out there. Right. There's real people being raped out there.
Right.
How can he say that for certainty if he don't know and haven't seen it? Woody Allen. See this girl that he's married to?
Was that
Look at this.
Daughter or something?
That was supposed to be his daughter. Hold on, let me get this out of here. Jewish. She was adopted as a little girl by Woody Allen at the age of 6 or 7, and he married her. That means he was raping her the whole time. Elvis Presley was known for raping kids, young girls. All that. But you know what they do? They keep the legacy of their people intact for historical purposes. You believe George Washington never told a lie? So they're smearing history, folks. They don't want any history of showing our people dignified, like Bill Cosby portrayed, excuse me, of us. He went out on a limb and did the exact opposite of the stereotypes the Jewish people in Hollywood studios were putting out on us. And it succeeded. Now what is that legacy known for? How can you allow them to use the media to distort and to destroy any history of positivity concerning our people here? And this is not making no excuse for anyone, because like I said yesterday, when you sign those contracts, okay? You make that agreement with Satan. But listen, I'm saying, if you're going to bring forth the information on rapists, molesters, pedophiles, bring it all out on everyone, or shut up. And that should be the stance of our people. Okay? If you're not going to bring it all out, don't bring it out here since you want to take his bag now. After him making you billions of dollars, you want to take the rest and leave him for broke like you've done all of the stars, all of the people that you've utilized in our communities. If you're not going to bring it all out, get out of our face. No longer will we let the synagogue of Satan dictate our emotions when it comes to our people. And with that,
man,
you have some more?
This is a show within itself. just to further provide.
You know what? We're gonna go into this Wednesday. I'm gonna kick back the Muslim thing for next Wednesday, and we're gonna go into this coming Wednesday. But go on.
Just to bring some facts to the child sex trafficking that the man of sin, as the Bible calls it, the son of perdition, are doing, which the world today will call Jewish people or Zionists. Right? This same man who owns CBS, who owns and controls Gale in the questions what to ask R. Kelly, that same man does, philanthropy work. Some of the many things he's done, he has given millions of dollars to Cambodian Children's Fund, a non-profit program that provides a wide range of critical health and educational services to impoverished and abused children in the capital in Cambodia.
This is what they do. They go into any remote area or village under the guise of philanthropy to get children for the sex ring R. Kelly was trying to tell Gail about. Not once did they ask an objective question to any of these people who are now in court for worse than R. Kelly and others. Even the girls came out. And I don't agree with some of their behavior. I believe that what's going on with R. Kelly and these girls speaks to the dysfunction in our community. But that's our community.
Right. We got to fix that.
We got to deal with that. Okay? So another thing. At least the girls stood up and said, well, listen, something that we don't see too much, sisters standing for their man. Whether we agree with their relationship or not. She says, they're like, listen, why do you think we're with R. Kelly? What type of father and parent would put their child on stage with him? And that's what they were saying. It was my father knocking down a door for me to be with R. Kelly. And she's looking at her surroundings where she lived with R. Kelly opposed to her house, knowing that she have a father that would do anything for money, even whore out her own daughter. And that is a law in the Bible against that. That a father cannot whore his daughter. Almost verbatim what I said is a law in the Bible. And she said it. She's sitting there breaking down crying. What's the difference between her tears and the accuser's tears? Since you care about the hurt women. They came out and say, well, listen, we're fine. We are adults. And you notice they're not pointing out the fact that these girls are adults. They want to go back 20, 30 years when they could have done something, him being married to Aaliyah, to try to convolute everything and put it all together if it's one flawless piece. And it's to confuse the masses. The women he's with, and I don't agree with his lifestyle, but that's his lifestyle. Okay? The women he's with right now are all over 18. You know what they're after? They're after what's ever left, folks. They're after what's ever left of his catalog. And you know what? Because the brother didn't have the right people surrounding him, I'm going to tell you right now, they're going to get it. If they don't get it now, they'll get it after he's dead. Folks. The only person who had access to Whitney Houston's estate was Whitney Houston's daughter. Where is Whitney Houston's daughter right now? This is way deeper, folks. If you believe that these people out there care about black girls underage dating older men, something is seriously wrong with you. They could care less about a black girl. Are you kidding me? They attack your womb from birth. They're sterilizing you. They're destroying you. They're giving you breast cancer. They're giving you all those things. They're jacking you up, okay, with vaccines, you little black girls. You think they care about black girls? Stop buying the media's portrayal of us. We're more than this, and we're feeding into it by saying, man, well, I seen the documentary, man, you know, that was deep. But I know I know you need some talking points to sound intelligent at the barbershop or wherever or at the hair salon. Anybody, if I was to put a documentary and just pointed out something negative on one person, it would be slanted. And by default, being that there's no objective information in it, by default, someone looking at it would be swayed to believe the documentary. If nothing but negative is in it. Any of us can do that. Okay? And the reason why I'm up about it is not that I defend R. Kelly or I like R. Kelly, anything like that. Is because I understand it's the synagogue of Satan behind it.
Right.
There's people doing this on purpose, structuring a narrative against our people. That's all I have to say on it. So you continue to allow them to demonize us and make us the face of pedophilia and all that's wrong, if you would like, while they continue to do so. And Oprah, shame on her, setting up these little areas in Africa so that these guys like Weinstein can go to Africa and rape these little girls that you so-called are helping. We know what's going on with you, Oprah. You're the devil that the Bible speaks of. I'm going to, anything else?
One more thing, just to provide facts to yet another thing Al just mentioning about them taking the money, right?
Yeah.
I've heard you say this a few times on a few different occasions, like Bill Cosby, now R. Kelly, and so on, right?
Yeah.
It only, for some reason, only just dawned on me now that that is fact. And you want to know why? They write the contracts. And so they know how to weasel out of them. And in the contracts, they have these things called moral clauses. That if you do something, right, your whole everything, they will sue you for it to so-called protect themselves. So that's how they actually get the money, is through these moral clauses.
Exactly. I didn't even look at it that way. On the legal side, there are moral clauses.
It just hit me now when you said
and by default, that gives them access to areas they didn't have otherwise.
Yep.
Man, that's deep in itself. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that this Wednesday. Okay. And, you know, instead of surviving R. Kelly, we probably put an undertitle on it, Saving R. Kelly. What about that? Would you like to save R. Kelly?
Right.
Okay. The Most High do. The Most High would.
Right.
With that, we'll be right back with our lesson. Elder Lawya, what is it?
Judgment of the gods.
The judgment of the fallen gods. What will happen to the angels that fell? Coming up next. You can only get it here in your Hebrew and Bible Academy. Shalom.